Some thoughts don't need to be stopped. They don't need to be corrected. They don't need to be understood. They just need to be left alone. I used to think the goal was to quiet the mind, to interrupt thoughts as they appeared, to redirect attention somewhere calmer. But that still required involvement, effort, control. Lately, I've been noticing something different. A thought shows up. And instead of engaging with it, I don't follow it to the end. I don't finish it. I don't see where it goes. I let it keep moving without me. At first, this feels strange. The mind wants continuity, it wants conclusions, it wants to complete the loop. So stepping out mid-thought can feel unfinished, even irresponsible. But nothing breaks. The thought doesn't chase me, it doesn't demand completion, it dissolves on its own. This is different from suppression. Suppression pushes a thought away. This is absence of participation. The thought still exists, but it no longer has an audience. And without an audience, most thoughts don't perform for very long. Letting the thought finish without you creates space immediately. Not silence, space. Space where the body can stay settled while the mind does less. I'm learning that clarity doesn't come from finishing every mental sentence. It comes from knowing when not to continue. Some thoughts were never meant to lead anywhere. They're just momentum, residue, old habits moving through a system that no longer needs them. When I don't finish the thought, there's a brief moment of discomfort, a gap, and then relief. Not because something was solved, but because nothing was required. This is where effort drops away, where awareness becomes light, where presence doesn't need managing. Letting a thought end on its own teaches the nervous system that not everything needs completion to be safe. That things can remain unfinished without consequence. This isn't a technique. It's a stance, a quiet decision to stop accompanying the mind everywhere it wants to go. I'm still here. The thought passes, nothing collapses, and the day continues. Lighter than before. This is part of the quiet work, letting thoughts move through without following them to the end, staying present while the mind finishes without you. There was a time when silence felt like weakness, like giving up ground, like letting something go unanswered. I believed that if I didn't respond, I was losing control of the situation. That silence meant surrender. But I'm starting to understand something different now. Silence isn't absence, it's a boundary. Not every situation requires a response to be resolved. Some situations only escalate when you participate. I noticed how quickly my body reacted to incoming words. The tightening, the urge to explain, the impulse to correct the story, to defend myself against something that didn't need a defense. And when I didn't respond, nothing collapsed. The world didn't end. The tension didn't grow. It faded. Silence didn't mean agreement. It didn't mean permission. It meant I chose not to step into something that wasn't mine to carry. A boundary doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it looks like not engaging, not correcting, not finishing the conversation someone else keeps trying to start. Silence gives the nervous system room to settle. It removes fuel, it stops momentum. And without momentum, most conflicts lose their shape. I'm learning that I don't need to be understood to be at peace. I don't need to convince. I don't need to clarify. I don't need the last word. Silence isn't passive, it's deliberate. It's a choice to stay regulated while something else burns out on its own. Some people interpret silence as an invitation. Others interpret it as defiance. But neither interpretation changes what it is. A boundary. One that doesn't need explanation. One that doesn't need reinforcement. Just consistency. When I stay silent, I'm not avoiding. I'm protecting my capacity. I'm keeping my system intact. I'm choosing peace over participation. And that choice doesn't require permission. This is part of the quiet work. learning that silence can hold more strength than any response ever could. I used to believe that if something was intense, it needed immediate attention. That urgency meant importance. That if I didn't step in, things would get worse. But I'm noticing something else now. Most situations don't end because they're resolved. They end because they lose fuel. Words need engagement to stay alive. Conflict needs reaction to keep moving. When nothing feeds it, it starts to collapse on its own. I've watched how quickly intensity fades when I don't meet it with energy. Not with argument, not with explanation, not even with resistance, just nothing. At first, that felt unnatural, like standing still while something rushes past you. There was a pull to step back in, to respond, to say something sharp, something final, something true. But every time I didn't, the intensity had nowhere to land. It circled briefly, then slowed, then disappeared. Letting things burn out isn't avoidance, it's understanding how energy works. Fire doesn't go out because you argue with it. It goes out because there's nothing left to consume. When I don't react, my body stays calm, my breath stays steady, my thoughts don't spiral. And the situation resolves itself without my involvement. This isn't about being detached. It's about choosing not to become part of something that doesn't serve me. Some situations are designed to pull you in, to hook your attention, to keep you engaged long after they've stopped being relevant. Letting them burn out is an act of restraint, of trust, of confidence in your own stability. I don't need to manage every flare-up. I don't need to extinguish every spark. I just need to stay present while it fades, and when it's gone, there's space. Quiet. Relief. Not because something was won, but because nothing was lost. This is part of the quiet work. Letting intensity pass without following it. Letting things burn out on their own while you remain steady where you are.